is up? It is me, your host, Mike Smith, coming at you solo today. We have recorded this episode once and found out we had some technical difficulties while posting, so it's me solo today, and I'm coming at you with a very abbreviated version of how we're going to make some money because we've got some great picks this week. So we're going to start with my fun little parlay. We're going to take the Bucks on the money line versus the Panthers with the Texans on the money line versus the Jaguars. The Bucks and the Texans here are both clearly the better team. The Panthers, they've had some fun matchups recently, but I think that ends here. They come back to reality. Baker Mayfield keeps the offense rolling, and the Texans, they're coming off a bad loss, and they need a big bounce back week after losing late to Tennessee last week. So give me the Bucks on the money line with the Texans on the money line. You can get it at a nice juicy plus 120. Love that a lot. Also going to go to the Eagles versus the Ravens game. Taking the game total over 50.5 points at minus 112. It is a lot of points. I get it and understand it if you don't like it because it's the NFL. However, both of these teams are averaging over 31 points a game over the last 6. They're both clicking. They're playing really good football offensively. Defensively, we've seen them both getting beat a couple of times. So taking over 50.5 points there. Stefan is taking the Seahawks -1 at the Jets. The Jets are frankly just kind of trash right now, and we expect the Seahawks to keep doing their thing. They've had some scrappy wins all season, so Stafe is taking Seahawks -1 at the Jets at -108. Also, he is taking the Steelers at the Bengals -3. The Steelers, I mean, they're getting wins, but how good are they really? We don't really know, in my opinion. Bengals, they're scrappy, and we've seen them score a lot of points every game this year. If the Steelers are going to be able to win this game, they're going to have to score a lot of points. We've seen Cincinnati do that time and time again, and we cannot find a reason to see how Pittsburgh is going to find a way to continue to score that many points. So the Bengals -3. And he is also taking the Broncos at home, -5.5 versus Cleveland on Monday Night Football. Again, better team in Denver. Cleveland just not really keeping up well across all of their games, so just taking the home favorite there as well. Stefan's final play is going to be the Texans team total over 23.5. They have hit this continually, except for last week. Actually, no, I take that back. I think they did hit it last week. It's not in front of my face, so somebody can vet that later. But Texans over team total over 23.5. They're playing the Jaguars. The Jaguars are just bad. C.J. Stroud should have a monster game. Joe Mixon should get back on track here. Nico Collins should get back on track here, and that is going to roll. Moving on to player props. I have 6 for us, and Stefan has 1. My 6, we have Bucky Irvin over 58.5 rushing yards. You can get it at -120. He is now, in my opinion, the lead back in Tampa, and he is playing the Carolina Panthers, who, as you all know if you have been listening, they're terrible against the run. So we're going to fire that one up again. Also, give me Jonathan Taylor over 80 rushing yards. You can get that at -115. Jonathan Taylor has hit this every game that he has played similar level opponents, and the Pats have given up 100 yards in 9 games this season. So I like Jonathan Taylor to get things back on track here after he's had a few weeks against really great run defenses. I've got 2 plays in the Seattle game. Give me Pat Freiermuth over 2.5 receptions. He has hit this in all but 2 games this season, and now they play the Bengals, who are one of the worst teams in the league against the tight end. They just gave up 4 receptions to Will Dissly last week. Mark Andrews had 6 the week before, and Brock Bowers had 5 the week before that. I'm also taking George Pickens over 75.5 receiving yards. George Pickens has hit 74 or more every game with Russell Wilson at quarterback. And now he plays Cincy's defense, who can't do anything. They just gave up 123 to Ladd McConkey last week. So I like George Pickens to keep rolling here. I'm also taking Marvin Harrison Jr. anytime touchdown at +185. Marv has been a good but not great receiver this year, but I'm blaming that more on Kyler Murray than I'm blaming it on Marvin Harrison Jr. Now he gets to play Minnesota, who has a great rushing defense, but they don't have a great passing defense. They play 2 high safety more than any other team in the league, and that's where Marv shines. He has scored 4 of his 6 touchdowns against 2 high safeties. So taking that one to continue, and I'm going to throw one more in here. Give me Nico Collins over 85.5 receiving yards as well. for all the reasons we've already talked about in the Jaguars game. We're going Nico Collins over 85.5 receiving. And Stave's final play is going to be Brian Robinson Jr. anytime touchdown at -125. And I like it. You're definitely going to want to double check and make sure that he is playing coming off of that injury. But the last I checked today, things are trending in the right direction for him there. So that's Brian Robinson Jr. anytime touchdown. This is the part where we run it down top to bottom. If you made it, then congratulations. So we're going to run top to bottom. Give us a follow on all the socials, all the good buttons, all the fun comments. Just help us out. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, and let's have some fun. So let's break it down. We're going to go start with the game picks. I'm taking the Buccaneers money line versus the Panthers, with the Texans money line versus the Jaguars at +120. Taking the Eagles versus the Ravens over 50.5 points in the game at -112. Stefan is taking the Seahawks -1 at the Jets. He's taking the Steelers at the Bengals -3. The Texans team total over 23.5 points scored. And also taking the Broncos at home -5.5 against Cleveland. For player props, we have Bucky Irvin over 58.5 rushing yards, Jonathan Taylor over 80 rushing yards, Pat Freiermuth over 2.5 receptions, George Pickens over 75.5 receiving yards, Marvin Harrison Jr. anytime touchdown, Nico Collins over 85.5 receiving yards, and a Brian Robinson Jr. anytime touchdown. Thanks for hanging in there through the technical difficulties this week on the part 2 show of the NFL games. Enjoy the last parts of your Thanksgiving weekend. Eat those leftovers and let's go make some money.